How old are you again?
36.
Hey, no, you ain't. You're like, what? She almost spit her bacon out. She said, come again.
In dog years, what are you doing?
Double Toasted Live in Brooklyn, New York is selling very well.
Good.
Very well. If I were you, and I'm not, but if I were you, I'd get my tickets now. Because this one might possibly sell out.
Yeah.
We've already kind of hit halfway.
That is the New York way.
Yeah. We've already sold halfway. Mm-hmm. Halfway to selling out. We're about to fill that theater. So, y'all, if I were you, I'd go get those tickets now by going to x1entertainment.com/double-toasted. That's going to be April 1st at the Roulette Intermediate, where we were last time. And it's going to be a night of comedy, some games. I'm going to try to get that after party for you. And if you get that all access package, that all access ticket, then you will be able to get yourself front row seating we've reserved just for you. Get in early, hang out with us. Going to get you a t-shirt that comes with everything, and any other exclusives that we have, you're going to get that too. You can also go over to dtmerch.com and get your tickets. Or you know what, while you're there, just go ahead and get some merch. Now, I don't know how this man feels, but I'm going to say this anyway. I think I speak for most people when they say, our Savior has arrived.
The curse is broken.
Yes, it took damn near 50 years, but the dreaded video game curse has finally been broken by the chosen one. Thanks to...
If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going on?
What really impressed him was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
If she so much as twitches.
Bam!
Don't be playing like that.
I told y'all. People, of course, this is the highly anticipated and now much praised The Last of Us. This is, of course, the TV show on HBO that is based on the 2012, what some people call a masterpiece game from Naughty Dog.
I need something smuggled out of the city.
It's just cargo, Joel.
It's got everything to do with that little girl.
Now, the show pretty much follows the same template as the game. And if you know the game, then you know what I'm talking about. If you watched some of the show already, been keeping up with it. But for those who haven't, you could probably pick it up from what you saw here in both trailers. It is the apocalypse. There is a new take on the zombie out there. This time is done with fungi. Mm-hmm. There's a spore. There's something that's going around that's making people want to infect each other. It's based off of true science, by the way. This is done with insects. There's a fungus that can infect an ant, and that ant would climb to the top of a blade of grass or weed and say, "Yes, master," and we'll just have something growing out of his head to spread the spore to other ants out there, other unfortunate ants. This time there's a form that affects humans, but it's really not about the zombies. What you have here is one girl who is infected, Ellie, who now she's not infected. She was bitten and somehow miraculously is not infected. So she might hold the cure to this fungi that is infecting everybody and turning them into mindless but dangerous zombies. And she might be able to save the world and bring it back to its normal state. And that is Pedro Pascal that plays the character of Joel from the game. Mm-hmm. And I forgot the girl's name. There's Pedro Pascal right there. Who, by the way, Layla's always escorting something. either little Yoda or this damn this girl here.
No. If this acting thing doesn't work out, he could drive for favor.
Hell yeah. Open up a dog walking service or something. She's always like,
he's like, yeah, you're right about that.
There's always carrying packages in that shit. You're gonna be working for UPS next.
Oh, Pedro and that human trafficking.
Yeah. Shit, if they ever make a UPS movie, guess who's gonna star it? The girl who plays Ellie, I forgot her name, but she's also from Game of Thrones.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she was that little girl that everybody said, damn, that little girl is holding it down. Oh, what's her name, man? Somebody said Pedro Pascal as Amazon driver. Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great actress, man. Now, some people are sitting up here saying, hey, now, wait a minute. Slow down now. You know, yes, The Last of Us, you've done some shit. You've done some great things out there. But that curse has been broken. For a while now, that curse has been broken. You just gonna sit up here and disrespect your boy like this?
Yes, sir. Little snack, and here we go.
Sonic had 2 hit movies.
True.
You just gonna ignore that? You mean you just gonna slap Simon Belmont in the face like that?
The whole world's gone crazy.
Skeletons jumping around. Goddamn rat's going crazy. That's Castlevania from Netflix. Damn, even your boy Pikachu beat The Last of Us to it, man.
Man, I ain't like that one so much.
Come on, man.
But it was a hit.
It was.
And it still was critically praised. I mean, you know, it was like 80-some% on Rotten Tomatoes and whatnot. You know.
Man, but you got people who will argue that the first Mortal Kombat was good. And you one of them.
Sir, we will have to have a talk after this. But it was good for what it is at the time.
No asterisks.
Yes, it is true. All of these, now again, you know, depending on who you talk to, all of these to some degree are successful, critically and financially successful video game properties that help break the stigma that, well, video game adaptations suck. You know, that is not we can no longer say it's the case with these right here. But if you really want to get down to it, I mean, you want to get knuckle with this, and I do.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can disagree, but all of these properties that we just named, and even to a certain extent, if you want to go back to Mortal Kombat, all of these properties that we just named are either Mortal Kombat is just kind of fluffy action, or most of these today, they are either family films or children's films, or if they're not, they're animated. So by that logic, The Last of Us still might be considered to be the first to break the curse in a much desired area, and that is mature live action, especially with a drama. Mm-hmm. Now, I sit up here and I still argue with some people that there's one out there that is not so bad, a little underrated. I think it needs some respect.
Christopher, Sharon's gone. I need your help. I'm not okay. Please, hurry.
That is Silent Hill, which I thought was not bad, man. But then they came out with that sequel, Silent Hill Revelations. But Silent Hill kind of deserves a list. It's better than what people give it credit for. Not perfect. I would even say it's a stretch to say great, but it was a good God to honest attempt at doing something mature.
All right.
And a little dramatic. Before I go on, I need to ask you, sir, because we did not do a review of this. We did not get any screeners of this. And to be honest with you, I don't mind. I mean, I'm not crazy about doing season reviews of things. I like talking about it weekly if it's good or something I'm into, or I don't want to put out a regular review. Which is what this is. This is pretty much 99% of critics out there say that this is great. This adaptation right here is what we've been waiting on. So this discussion is going to be about why this is the one to break that curse as far as in the area of live action and live action drama and live action mature content. Mm-hmm. And also, if that's the case, then what is it doing? What is it doing that's making it so great? What is it doing that the rest of these attempts failed at? We'll talk about that. But before we go any further, we did not do a review of this, so I got to ask you, what did you think about it?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it nailed everything it was trying to do. And it pulled off what you want an adaptation to do, which is to be very, very faithful and yet translate to the new medium that it's in. Not so faithful that it's like, well, I might as well just be playing the game. But it actually is a show. Like you watch this and you go, okay, if you've never even heard of The Last of Us, you could come into this, watch it, and think you're watching a really good show.
Exactly. That's the thing that you hit it, man. That's the thing that this does that I think is why some video game adaptations are justified outside of the fans. Somebody put it to me today very, very cleverly. They said, listen, not everybody read Game of Thrones, but saw it and enjoyed it. Not everybody needs to play the game to watch some good entertainment. And if you don't want to watch it because you played the game, then don't watch it. Yeah, man, this is a better than sex show for me as far as the attempt at what they've done here and what they've accomplished. What'd you think about it?
Oh, I'm right there with you. I thought it was better than sex. Just how much similarities the first episode was to the game. Like I'm watching, I'm like, holy crap, I remember all this stuff going on. I know we'll talk about some certain characters a little bit later.
Yeah.
But man, this first episode completely like blew me away. And it made me actually want to replay the game.
Yeah.
That's the big thing you want to have happen from something like this. If it makes you go like, I want to go back to the source material. Yeah. They've done their job.
But I haven't seen the rest of the episodes, but by that first episode is a better than sex. Now, by the end of as a full season, it might be different. That's how I looked at some of these Star Wars shows that were out there. But but we'll see. But okay, all around the room, great, better than sex, and and fantastic, and everybody loves it. So it's all this, despite doing some of the very same things that have made other adaptations so bad. And when I say that, I say that because it took liberties with the source material. A lot of people say that's the first mistake that happens with an adaptation, that people just take too many liberties with it. But here it took liberties with the source material, and to the point where it did something where a lot of people they hate it, they complain about it. Sometimes they review bomb these things because of this. They went and changed the race of the characters.
Yeah.
That's Pedro Pascal, who Colombian or something? Or,
yeah. But the thing is, the nerds love Pedro Pascal.
No, they do. Because you know why?
He gets a pass on everything.
And you know why? Because don't let that hard look right there for you. He's a nerd too.
Oh, he's a total nerd.
He's a big old nerd.
That's what cracks me up. Whenever he's not, and when he's in his roles, he talks like this. And when he's not, he's like, I'm like, it's a fuck. I'll go, you liar. Well, you're an actor. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, no, that's what you're supposed to do.
But every role is always him like this.
I'm a tough guy. Yeah, I must get Yoda back home to the Jedi. Everybody's scared of my ass in the apocalypse. Yeah, I'm on.
was that good, Taika? You want me to take that again?
But he come out to the damn video game, the video game awards.
I just want to say thanks everybody for just making this such a cool project for us.
Hey, Joe, is that you?
Thank y'all. No, don't do that shit.
Oh, okay, you got me.
No, he's sweet.
Yeah,
is what I like to say.
Yeah.
But they changed the race of the character. A lot of characters here, actually. They change the race. Sometimes they do that carelessly with a lot of other properties. But for some reason here, it was okay. They changed some of the story, the behavior of the zombies. It's no longer spread through spores and clouds and mist, or just zombies attacking, or the fungi zombies attacking like zombies, biting flesh off, hunks of flesh and eating it and whatnot. No, this right here, what they do is this time they have these tendrils in their mouth that come out and they go around like just biting people like Dracula on the neck. She's like, you next, right? I would run if I was
just standing there.
Yeah, she stood there a long time.
You better close your mouth and run right now.
No, that scene creeped me out.
Oh man, it was really creepy the way they set it up too. But then we won't say too much. Y'all haven't seen it, and that's not the point right now. The point is, with all the changes that they've made, the liberties that they've taken, things that would actually get another adaptation heavily criticized to failure. Why is this working so well here? I've written down some reasons, and I would like for you guys to put in some reasons afterwards, but I've written down some reasons here why I think that this is working so well, and have some points to play against it to show why this is working so well. Some of these things in the same family.
Okay.
So, the first obvious reason why this is working so well, don't really need to tell you, is because the source material is already great.
I was going to say, it is the definition of, look, just follow what's
Sorry, Martin. Shout out, Martin Thomas.
If you just follow what's been done, you can't lose.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as video games go, I think it's one of, if not the best written one, at least that I've ever played.
Yeah, it's up there, like top 3.
Oh, yeah. But even then, there was the chance in the wrong hands that somebody would take it, and no matter how great that source material is, somebody gonna still be like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Cue a clip of Uncharted, right?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, Sony.
Yeah. You know, the game is already a long movie or TV show.
Right.
You'd have to be purposely trying to this up. I mean, really, you would have to just be, your ego would just have to be in there where you say, I just want to do my own thing.
I mean, look, I get where a lot of adaptations might go left because the source material, as much as everybody loves it, doesn't really fit a movie. Like, it gets silly or exaggerated just for the gameplay. You know, that's always think with Resident Evil. I mean, you know them better than I do. I just wonder if, like, maybe it's just not enough there to make a really good story unless you put a lot of work into it. And sometimes they just kind of go off the reservation too much.
Yeah, Resident Evil is very frustrating because they have the makings of a really cool, almost homage to B movies, to B horror movies. Yeah. If they would follow the material, that's all you got to do.
They ain't trying to do all that.
I mean, if you have something great, don't mess with it. And they actually did mess with it, and that's what I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But, you know, my next point with this is that it's really all about timing too. Because, you know, by the time that we came around to the Last of Us, you know, video games had, for a very long time, become more advanced with storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
Adaptations have been around pretty much as long as video games have been around. You remember Pong?
Yeah.
The TV show?
The TV show?
Yeah.
No. I don't say. I remember watching on my TV.
Yeah, it was two actors just going up and down. Nah, man. No, it's about timing. Because, you know, for years, they've been making video game adaptations. But there was really nothing to go by. You had nothing to work with.
Right.
You know, there was really no story there, man. They had a premise enough for a video game, right? Enough to keep you from running from something or trying to get something.
Yeah, it's just something to bridge you from one action scene to the next.
But that didn't stop nobody from making no adaptations back then. I mean, we're talking about now. When I was a kid, some of y'all don't even remember these things. We probably have to review some of these on the retro cartoon show that we do, but. You had things that were adapted back in the day of stuff that probably never should have been adapted, or when they did, they just filled it with generic silliness. It's usually just chases. Just the whole episode of something is just one character chasing another, man. And they said, that's cool. Just make sure that, every 5 minutes or so, you make a reference to the game so people know that's what it is. Just make sure he throws a barrel at Mario. That's the Donkey Kong cartoon show back in the day. And that's all they said. It was you want to know the premise? It was Mario trying to capture Donkey Kong. Okay. That was it. And they would just go from city to city. that damn gorilla be running from his ass. And they just said, but just make sure that he throws a barrel at him. Make sure every episode there's a big old case of barrels over there, so you can pick one up and throw that as a little Italian ass.
Hey, Melonhead, come on down from there.
Oh, come on. He's not even trying.
Even Mario, like, what the hell did you find a room full of barrels? Did y'all see that? My man reached into a random window. Like somebody just was keeping barrels in their apartment. Yeah, I got something going on. Yeah, take that, bitch. Oh, shit. But yeah, they didn't have that much to work with. They would, they just filled in the blanks. It wasn't until years later you got things like Mass Effect and stuff like that where they started telling like full stories. And even then when you had like even back with the 2600, they had games that had a lot of lore behind it.
Yeah.
They just weren't being told and to this effect. No pun intended right here, because what they did was the reason why it was so effective later is because the graphics had finally caught up, especially with The Last of Us, to where the graphics were so good that you could resonate with these characters, emotionally.
Yes.
But the first cinematic game I played was Max Payne. And that really felt like a B film noir detective story, something you watch on cable. I thought it was so cool that they did that.
Yeah.
So when they actually made a movie of that, I was like, this is redundant and you're missing the point.
Yeah. Yep. That's keywords right there. Missing the point. Yeah. And what they did was they just made a typical detective story, detective noir story. So they just put that bullet time in there.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like you ruined the whole thing now.
But here's the other thing, man. It was my third point here. And we kind of mentioned something to this effect earlier. It's not trying to fit everything into a movie. That was one of the problems with a lot of comic book movies. Novel adaptations and video games, they were trying to fit everything into a movie.
Yeah.
And the game is 10 plus hours, man.
Right.
It's already formatted like a TV show.
Oh yeah.
And it's also known for being this sprawling epic. If you try to condense that epic into even 2.5 hours, you're missing a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
You really are missing a lot. We were talking earlier, and this is point number 4. We were talking earlier about how they changed things in here and why did this work where when they changed things in other adaptations, it works against it. So my 4th point, the changes that they made did not deviate too far from the source. I won't lie, I was not thrilled with the casting of Pedro Pascal as Joel. And that's because whenever you hear about these adaptations in the early stages being made, you already do your casting in your head.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I told
Who
Julie.
did you have?
I told Julie the other day, it's a good question, Dylan McDermott as Joel.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
But they've done some, at least Joel looks like Pedro Pascal, or vice versa. Pedro Pascal kind of looks like Joel in a way. Brown Joel, but Joel. But the other characters, they don't look anything like their video game counterparts. Joel's brother Tommy, who's played by Gabriel Luna, who was in the Terminator. He looks nothing like the video
Tommy,
game version. Yeah. Nicole, there she is right there.
Just keep driving.
Oh, it's my Sarah?
Yeah, who plays Sarah right here. Yeah, that's Nicole Parker. I'm sorry, not Nicole, Nicole Parker. She plays Sarah, who is Joel's daughter in the beginning of the game. Looks nothing like the girl in the game, but they did keep the essence of those characters, man.
Yeah, and that's what's important. I mean, plus they look like Pedro Pascal's brother and daughter.
Exactly.
So it would have been weird. Game. But they kept the essence. Plus, when you look back at it, there is nothing about those characters in the game. Like their whiteness is not of any importance whatsoever.
Yep. And she's such a, she's an important part of the character, Sarah. I mean, she's an important character and a big essence of the story and a big part of the story. She's a big turning point for the story, but she's not a huge part in the game. Her part is minimal.
Right. It's funny because it's minimal but effective, and here they went the extra mile of letting you really get to know her.
Yep.
So it hurt all that much more.
Yep. Even and another thing that these movies do in certain adaptations that go to TV, especially with movies though. Their whole thing is, well, we got to show people we got money. We got to put some action in there, some spectacle in there. And they actually do that here. But what they did so well is that, yeah, it is a money shot, but it doesn't feel like they're just showing off.
No.
It actually very much was part of the story. And if you ask me, hey, if you're gonna go bigger, do it in the spot that they did it here. Like in the game, there's that scene when they're when the outbreak first happens and everybody's trying to get away.
Yeah.
In the game, Joel and his brother, they get abruptly stopped by another car, a truck that hits them. It's like, nah, man, shit, we got $100 million. We ain't doing no car crash here. We're gonna crash a plane.
Yeah.
We gotta go. Find an alley.
Yeah, I was like, and it adds to the story too, because it lets you know that infection moves so quickly. It got that pilot.
Yeah.
Pilot. Yeah. I'm sorry.
If you noticed it, the camera was following Sarah in that shot.
Yeah.
That's what I was noticing.
Yeah, no, that's a good observation there, man. Now, we've been mentioning this off and on, but
One more thing about the casting, real
what's up? What's up?
Before you move on.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, this clearly takes place in Kyle or Buda because they get to the road and it's like Austin that way, San Marcos that way.
Yeah.
Being that it's Central Texas, them being Mexican makes more sense.
Man, you know what? Man, I didn't even think of that. That makes it a perfect casting.
Yeah.
That game messed up. This is an improvement right here. There's we've been talking about this throughout the discussion. We've been dropping little hints of this certain thing, but we're talking about how well they do with this adaptation and the changes that they have. Compare that to another adaptation of a video game by the same company, Naughty Dog. It's an adaptation that it seemed like it was just, they didn't give a damn at the very beginning.
Who the hell is this?
I'm a friend of Sully's.
Sully doesn't have any friends. I should know him one of them.
Well, that's because that's not Sully.
Come on.
That's Sully. You're like, where?
Yeah.
Where's Sully?
No, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you Sully and Nathan. This is the game Uncharted. You just saw the movie Uncharted. Now this is will the real Nathan and Sully please stand up?
Sully?
Know what I love about partying with a bunch of crooks?
What's that?
Nobody cares if you smoke indoors.
Yeah. Parker, get in there. Now, was that Nathan and Sully you just saw in that other clip right there?
No.
Oh, that's right. No, y'all, you got it. You gave him his mustache. I'm sorry.
Hey, put him down, boys. Nice and slow.
What is that thing on your face?
Yeah, puberty's right around the corner, kid. You can grow your own.
No, I'm sorry.
Hey, that's so forced.
Even he's like, look, I got one eye and I can see that you are not Sully. Trying to make a big deal about that mustache. That mustache might as well just walked in holding the gun.
You get to that scene and they whoever put that together said like, now this is the scene where they're gonna go, oh
yeah.
Like,
no, everybody said no.
That man is not. He looked like everybody else looking at this.
Like,
no, hell no.
Are you for real?
Yeah. Shit, I ain't blind. I just got one eye. Here's my fifth point right here. So where I was talking about they have to fill space because they really had nothing to work with. Well, you got to keep in mind that when I say how long this game is, this is let me see if I pull this up right here. Excuse me. Oh, where is it? Here we go. So you got to keep in mind that a lot of The Last of Us, the game, it is a game. It's gameplay, which means that you gotta stop. You gotta stop the story, and you gotta play the game at some point.
Damn.
A lot
Joel
of
is not around.
He does not. I felt bad playing Joel sometimes.
My bad.
I remember just beating people up. I was like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
It's not me, I swear.
Yeah. You know, a lot of, yeah, all assholes. Remember, they were bad people. Exactly. But yeah, man, you know, you went around playing the game at certain points and the story would just stop. And that's what a game is supposed to do.
Right.
And the last episode is great to watch, but the narrative is broken up by gameplay, which I say is that's what you need. But, you know, what I like about this is that not having gameplay here actually made them enhance the story.
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed with how smart they were with filling up that time. They say since we don't have the gameplay to fill in that time from the from the actual game, let's go in and develop characters that weren't developed that much in the game. We're talking about like Sarah, the daughter. I was talking about how she's just she's in there. She's a pivotal point of the story, but she is like pretty much a non-character after a while because she goes so quick. The show actually took the time to show you their relationship, build her character up so that you care about her when she has a big moment, as well as Joel, who has to emotionally deal with that afterwards.
You get your homework done? Fractions?
How old are you again?
36.
No, you ain't. You're like, what? She almost spit up bacon out. She said, come again.
In dog years, what are you doing?
Show.
Calcium.
You know, little moments like that, man. You'd be surprised at just the small moments like that you take for granted at the beginning, especially if you don't know what's going to happen. Those mean something, man. But then she also has her own storyline where they follow her for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that was really cool that they did that, man. There were other things that they did. You know, after the outbreak, well, 20 years after the outbreak, after society is broken down. You pretty much have this dystopian, utilitarian society. They show you small things that weren't in the game. Just how harsh this world has gotten. That thing at the beginning where they found that little boy.
Oh,
I was like, man, that got me because that is not in the game, and I did not know where that story was going, man.
Yeah, I was heartbroken over that one.
Yeah, that was rough, man. And see, that's the thing about why this is so well. I did not have a 6 point, but if I did, well, I guess I'm gonna make one up now. It adds a lot of stuff, but the things that it adds are, again, not just filler, but they're there to really add to the story. And so if you played the game and you think you know everything, because I know there were some complaints from some people saying, I don't care about this. Why should I watch this again? I've already played it. It's pretty much a movie. Why do I need to go live this again? But the show showed you why. They put a lot of things in there that were not in the game. And so now I'm looking forward to seeing how they've changed things up further.
Sure.
Right.
And they've changed them for the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I mean, I'm not talking about Chris. I'm talking because I've heard that from so many other people.
Oh, what? Did they change?
Well, no, why should I watch this? I've even read some things out there.
Oh, well, I mean, I often feel that way, but it was like, well, just from they showed from the trailers, this is like a quality production. Let's see it. I can give you a 6th point, at least a 5.5 point.
A 7th point,
yeah,
please.
Okay. Oh, did you do 6?
I made up a 6.
And maybe just a personal thing for me, but we've been in the age of The Walking Dead. And it's ubiquitous with all the different spinoffs, and it's everywhere. And it got everybody doing apocalypse shows. And like Why the Last Man was a graphic novel series that I loved. And by the time they did the show, I was like, I don't want any more of this. We've been living in a pandemic, and everything looks like The Walking Dead. And I'm watching this, and it does not remind me of The Walking Dead.
Yes, they're so easy to do that too. Yeah,
and I feel like this has its own personality.
And by the way, Chris is in the chat. I was not talking about you. In fact, I got an email today from somebody who even said, I've read so many things. I've heard it from other people. I've always said keep an open mind, but I got an email today from somebody who said, why should I watch this? I've already played it. So a lot of people have been saying that, and can you blame people after the other adaptations that we've had?
Sure.
You know, I'm not even mad at people that say, I'm like, all I can just say is just look and see. But your heart has been broken so many times. So I can't blame you for that.
And how long ago did you play it?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, they did get a new remaster, so some people could be really recently.
Yeah, I stopped buying those remasters.
No, they made a new one.
I know. Yeah, they did for the PS5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so. Hey, listen, you know, hopefully this will be the one that people will say, oh, okay. I see what you mean now. But they won't.
Well, man, you know, Sunday night HBO shows have a great track record.
Yeah.
And people tend to come out for those.
Yeah. Well, until you see the grip hiding behind, you know, a wall or something, they start leaving trash on the set. What if it's like the opposite of Game of Thrones? They start leaving swords on the set.
Yeah, but it's in a modernish time, so you wouldn't think anything of it. It would just be trash.
Well, that's what that's why I said. What if they do the opposite of Game of Thrones? What if they do?
I see. What leave medieval swords around?
Yeah. What does the dude walking around arm in the background? What the hell? Yeah, but I don't know, man. I hope that this will be the one that people will finally say, all right, you know, this is how it's done. We've been messing up. We haven't listened to people. You know, we haven't been going in and just messing these things up by doing our own thing simply to get money or changing it up to what we think the audience wants to see. You know, they'll tell you what the audience wants to see. They want to see the great thing that they enjoyed the first time.
It took some decades before somebody said, hey, what if we made a comic book movie that was like the actual comic book it's based on?
Yeah.
And they made a ton of money from it.
They sure did.
That's what it took for everybody else to go like, oh, yeah, we should do that too.
Yeah. That's why I told people. People say, you ain't going to ever get a video game adaptation that's good. I was like, never say never, all right? I mean, they said the same thing about comic book movies. And so we finally got the great one here. And, you know, again, you got to keep in mind that I think the reason why we're getting this right now is because video games have advanced. So really, it was not a matter of not being able to get something out of something. I mean, even some of the stuff that I grew up with, like on Saturday mornings, you know, watching that damn monkey throw that barrel at the supermarket, that was even fun, man. That was all right.
Well, that was hilarious.
I mean, how can you not laugh at that? He just found barrels of some old woman for break. Oh yeah, good things these were here.
I mean, normally you have a gorilla up on a building, you think he's gonna grab a woman and take her up there, but no, not him. No. Well, you could have killed me with that.
I mean, those were fun and, you know, in a very light way. But as far as getting the epic thing, the mature thing, the great thing, you know, the seriously well-written thing, you know, that is something that technology kind of had to catch up with video games.
Yes. So let me ask you the real important question.
Yes, sir.
Both of you. Take a moment, look into your heart. Now, if they're doing a great job with this one, what should be the next video game they should do?
Well, I can tell you what they're doing right now. And if they do it right, it's just like with this, it's already there. You ain't got to do shit.
I would say the same thing about Uncharted.
Yeah. No, I know. But that was Sony that had that.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Forgive me, Sony. You've done some great things, but you know about that. But God of War. Amazon said they're going to do that. And that, look, it's already laid out. And the next one is, what is it? Horizon Zero Dawn?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
That could be a great one, too. And they said they're going to be doing that. So, you know.
Yeah, those two. All right.
Just to answer some quick questions. Somebody wanted to know about The Last of Us. I got a couple of people ask us, did it look like Austin because we're in Austin? No, hell no, it ain't Austin.
No.
Oh, that's supposed to be Austin?
Well, that's the thing, because I was
in the beginning when the outbreak happened.
Well, that's why I was like, this
what Austin is that?
None, because it's got like a town squarish feel, but then like I said, when they're driving out of town, it showed Austin that way, San Marcos that way.
Okay.
I was like, okay, if that's Buda, that looks like Buda.
Oh,
okay. It's got more of a little small town.
But there's a point where they pull up and you see the Austin skyline.
I know.
And I was like, wait a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Buda's right next to Austin.
But you don't see that skyline like that. Yeah, because I recognized some of those buildings. I was like, y'all did it. You know, you did your research, but I was like, We wouldn't be that, your country ass wouldn't be that close to over there. Yeah, but hey, it's cool. It's cool. Nothing big about that. Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, brilliant show. Brilliant show.
Amazing.
Love it. They done an amazing job with this. I don't think we spoiled a whole lot for you. Probably some things, but check it out. There's a lot of other good things in here, great things in here that you can that you can enjoy. And I can't wait to do kind of weekly wrap-ups. Man, I'm so used to binging stuff. I was trying to put on the next one. I was like, oh yeah.
Okay, we ain't got it.
Hey, this TV's fucking what the hell, man?
Push your TV over.